Hi Chanel, welcome
Hello.
to the Wellbeing Hub. You obviously found the place okay.
hmm
I know that the traffic can be crazy and the parking isn't along the best it can be on this busy main road, but you found it okay?
yeah. I left myself enough time to be able to do a couple circles, and
Brilliant.
yeah. Thanks,
Yeah,
thanks for having me and making the
no
time.
dramas. Well, yeah, my name's Adam and I'm a clinical psychologist, and you've obviously been referred to me by the Wellbeing Hub.
Yeah,
Now, have you seen a counsellor before or a psychologist?
yeah. Like one session back in high school. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Well, I know it can be really nerve wracking walking in, so congratulations. I know
thank you.
it can take a lot, and I'll just right from the get go. I want this to be a safe place for you, and I want us to be able to have a really good collaborative approach to whatever issues you want to talk about. If you want to vent, it's a really safe place for you to be you,
Yeah,
and I'm not here to pass judgment. I'm here to walk hand in hand with you, and I dare say we'll probably have some goals later on the track and after this, and we'll aim to achieve.
yeah,
But like I said, it's a really safe spot for you and for us to share and be really at ease with that.
yeah. Cool.
I know you've seen a counsellor before, or a counsellor before. You mentioned that. I just want to, for legal reasons, just mention a couple of times where I might have to break our confidentiality, okay? And in a couple of occasions I'm sharing now, one would be if you indicate to me self-harm to yourself or to others, or if my notes get subpoenaed, and you will see me taking some notes, and if they get subpoenaed by the court, so I have to hand them over. If that does happen, though, I will notify you. Other occasions, if you sort of notify or imply that you're going to do illegal activities or something will impact social impact, I'll obviously have to intervene and report to the authorities. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I doubt it will, but I just have that for what a warning.
Yeah,
You'll also see that the our session's being recorded, okay, and
yeah,
that's only for me. So I'll review the footage and the audio, and that's so that I can make sure I can give you the best possible support. And I've missed something,
yeah,
and I want the best outcomes for you. So I'll review the tape and audio. If I miss something, I'll write notes, and we can, I guess, go back over it our next session.
yeah.
Once I've done that, I delete it. It's not kept on servers. It's not spread anywhere. It's purely for my personal development and to make sure that I can give you the best possible treatment and outcome for your therapy. That sound okay?
Yeah, well, that sounds good.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chanel, what's brought you into here today?
Um, well, I guess like the main reason is probably just because, like, I've been quite shaky and jittery and like nervous and like I just get really hot and then I feel really cold and like my heart's racing and I'm just feeling quite anxious. I think, yeah,
Yeah, well, I actually see the physical reaction now, like you're shaking
yeah,
and quite jittery.
yeah.
Can you tell me what are you thinking and how you're feeling and why you're presenting in such a way?
Yeah, I just think like I'm just worried that, like people might, I don't know, like perceive me as like some idiot or like, that I might do or say something that will come off like the wrong way or maybe like I'm doing something wrong or, like I'm just like really, I'm just thinking about, how people are like looking at me, like is my outfit stupid, like, just I'm just like really worried about like how other people are perceiving me and what they think of me and me as a person as well. Yeah.
So it sounds like you're always on edge and it's just analysing what other people are going to think of you and portray you. Is
Yeah.
that sound about right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And how long have you been feeling this way?
I've always sort of been a bit anxious, but like I think it's just gotten worse in probably about 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there a moment 6 months ago that's brought this on, or can you discuss and talk to me? So what happened then?
Yeah. I think like. Oh, well, yeah, I know that like 6 months ago, approximately, I had like a work presentation. So part of my job is delivering presentations of projects and things like that and seminars. And I did one and my boss gave me some feedback in front of some colleagues that wasn't too great about like the latter slides of my presentation.
Okay.
And yeah, and then after that, like, well, the feedback in itself didn't really like sit with me very well. And like after that, I was walking past the staff room and I heard some of the girls, I don't think they like me very much, but they were just kind of talking about how bad the presentation was. So, yeah, so I think since then, like, I've been super vigilant at work, and I'm like, okay, now I have to make sure that everything I do is, like, perfect, because I don't want to mess up again, or, like, I don't want to be talked about badly, and if they've talked about me this one time badly, then have they done it before? Are they going to do it again? So, yeah, I think that's probably when everything got really worse for me. Yeah.
Okay, so from that one moment, so the negative, you've done the presentation, the negative feedback from your boss, and then obviously you overhearing other co-workers talking negatively about yourself and about your presentation.
Yeah.
That's really impacted you. It's really have a negative outcome, and you're sort of now overanalyzing and spend most of your time overthinking about what people are talking about you. Is that about right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm just constantly thinking. I'm constantly overanalyzing. I'm constantly hypervigilant about, you know, what they think of me, how they perceive me. Like, you know, what does my voice sound like to them? Is it annoying? Is it not? Like, yeah, just very. There's just a lot, you know, going on at the moment. Like at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, I can just see, even as you're talking, I can see just it must be really tiring and really exhausting having to be on edge that way, and always, I guess, sort of overthinking and scanning other people's perceptions and what they think of you.
Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah, I guess, yeah. You're right, yeah, it is. It's really, really tiring. Like, it's really exhausting. Yeah, it's just like, I feel like, yeah, it's like I have big cannonballs tied to my ankle, and that's like the weight of everything, and it just adds to everything, and yeah, I am tired. I'm exhausted. Yeah, like, definitely, yeah.
So, for you, in your day-to-day in your workplace, you know, when you go to your workplace, you know, and 10 being high anxiety and stress, and you're always, I guess, you know, worrying about what other people's thoughts and how you're going to act and how you're going to be perceived. So 10 being really, really stressful, 1 being minimal. In the workplace, on a day-to-day basis, where would you put yourself on that scale?
Anywhere between an 8 to a 9.5. I've been on the brink of, God, I don't even know what the word for it is, just on the brink of combustion, really. Like, I've been so close to just not being able to be there. And I mean, I say daily, but there have been days that I just call off work and I just don't go. And especially when I know there's seminars coming up, I'll just get my doctor to write a letter and just won't go in. And, yeah, but, like, the best I've felt is about an 8. Yeah.
About an 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, this happened roughly 6 months ago.
Yep.
Has the impact of, you know, the negative feedback and I guess being the worrisome thoughts and, you know, the inner critic and negative dialogue, has that now also sort of impacted in other areas of your life, especially from your social aspect or from, you know, in your household as well?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I have a good group of friends that I usually spend time with, and I've been, like, screening their calls and just, like, not answering, and, you know, like, sometimes I'll even, like, respond to them when I know that they're busy, so that when they respond, it's almost like, oh no, like, we can't hang out, what a bummer. But I'm like, internally, I'm like really happy about that, because, like, I don't want to go out and risk making a fool of myself and risk making myself look stupid or say something, and, you know, people just think that I'm an idiot. So yeah, like, I just definitely socially, like, I've just sort of started to withdraw a bit more, and my relationship, like, I've just kind of been avoiding talking about it, really. Like, just haven't really been going into it, and kind of avoiding taking, like, next steps and sort of things in the relationship, and just kind of overall avoiding and just trying to save face, really. Just trying to show what, like, trying to control what I show.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
So from a social aspect, I'll start with your friend group first. Are you scared that they might judge you as well and think negatively about you? Is that why you're showing avoidance and not wanting to, I guess, hang out or you know, be present in their lives?
Yeah, I don't want them to sort of, like maybe I might say something and they're like, oh, that's a bit like, that's not right, or that's wrong, like that's not right, and I'm also sometimes some of my friends bring, because we're all doing different things, they'll bring some of their colleagues or some of their friends along, and they don't necessarily let us know beforehand, they just tag along, and I'm just worried because I'm like, if I've never met them before, then they don't know me, and like what happens if I say something or do something and they don't like me, and then like it might cause problems, or I might do or say something that makes me look like a fool, and so I'm just like, I'd rather just avoid it, stay away from it, let them have their fun. I don't want to ruin it for them. I don't want to be that person that ruins all the fun for everybody, so I'd rather just stay away from it, so yeah.
Okay. So you feel that you might be that person to slip up or act a fool, and you might put yourself in a negative light, and so forth.
Yeah, definitely.
You touched before with relationships, so you're in a relationship, male or female relationship? Male. And how long have you been with your partner for?
Just crossing over into a year. It's just about
into a year. And have you told him about how you're feeling, what's happening in the workplace, and have you mentioned to him?
Yeah, not really. I've kind of just been avoiding it. Yeah,
Okay.
like he's noticed. Like he said sometimes, like, oh, you seem a bit off, or
so he's noticed,
or like you seem a bit different or a bit weird, or like what's going on. But I've kind of just put it down to I'm just stressed. Like it's just a big couple months and blah blah blah. And I don't want to tell him, because what if he's like, oh, it's too much. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that like people have left, but like I might be too much for him to deal with, and he just decides, nah, I can't do this anymore. I can't deal with this, and he might just leave. So, I just prefer to sort of filter what I tell him. Yeah.
So once again, the fear of if you let him in and he still understands your true thoughts, your feelings, that it might be too much, and he might push you away. The fear of rejection is a real thing.
Definitely.
I want to touch on that later, but I just want to understand just more about yourself and your background. So you were born here in Brisbane. You're a Brisbane girl.
Yeah.
Do you mind just explaining to me about family dynamics, where you grew up, mum and dad, and so forth, and how was your childhood?
Nothing really exciting there. It's just just my parents split up when I was 11. Pretty much my fault, but. Dad left. Dad left when I was 11. Just decided he couldn't deal with it anymore or whatever. And last time I saw him was when I was probably maybe 13. Yeah, he like moved interstate. So last time I ever seen him, talked to him, been around him, seen his face was over 10 years ago now. So nothing really exciting in terms of childhood.
Okay, there's one thing I want to bring up, and one step you mentioned before, you said when you were 11 years old that you believe that you were the reason for mum and dad's breakup. I'm really interested to understand why you believe that. Do you mind sharing why you believe that and what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much was my fault. Like, Mum and Dad were having arguments leading up to the split, and they'd been arguing on and off like every couple does, but it just got kind of ramped up, and I was sort of 11, 12, so heading into high school, and I wanted to do sports and arts and do all these things, and I guess that we couldn't afford it, and they would have arguments about school fees, and Mum really wanted me to go to the best school that would help me in my future, and she wanted me to have the best of everything, but Dad kind of was just like, nah, she'll be right, like, she doesn't need this, she doesn't need that, even down to simple things like textbooks. Like, I'd just have to borrow a page here and there, or like take it from the library, and like just make do, really. He didn't really seem to care a lot, and that was a huge source of argument for them, is me. So I'm just thinking, like, if I was to be removed out of that equation, maybe they'd still be together. So if I wasn't in the picture, they wouldn't have anything in that regard to argue about, and so then they would most likely still be together. So he never showed much interest in me as a kid, and as a child, or play with me or anything like that. So I just feel like I was probably just not good enough. I was probably not, or maybe I was too much for him, and he just decided he didn't want it anymore. So yeah.
So how does it make you feel when you verbalise that? Just then that you think that you're to blame and you're at fault at the marriage breakdown of mum and dad?
It's a bit of like, I'm at a bit of crossroads, you know, like part of my brain's thinking that's silly, like how can you be responsible for another person's relationship or other people's relationships? And then the other part of me is thinking, well, no, I mean, all evidence points to that. So, you know, it feels silly, and sometimes it feels a little bit like surreal saying it out loud. I've never really said it out loud, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely scary saying it out loud because I don't like the thought, but then, yeah, I don't know. Part of me thinks it's stupid that I even think that way, and part of me thinks it's fair because that's all I've ever really thought of internally. So,
have you spoken to Mum about the effects and how you feel from your childhood, from obviously the separation of Mum and Dad, and as you mentioned, you haven't had a relationship with your father, and he's sort of left your life when you were 13. Have you been able to speak to her about it, and you haven't?
No, she has her own things, you know, she's got anxiety, and I just don't want to burden her with that, you know, it's just not something that I want to do. I love her and I want her to be okay, so I'd rather not bring that up, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's, I'll write some notes here, that's something that I would love to explore with you, probably in a later session, just about childhood and I guess probably where the possible connection of rejection and fear and love and so forth might be coming from. I think it's really important that we definitely revisit that.
Yeah.
And going still in your household and so forth, and you mentioned before any sort of mental illness, whether it be your mum's side and father's side. You said your mum's suffered from anxiety?
Yeah, mum has anxiety, and grandma, so mum's mum, also has anxiety. Yeah. Her anxiety affected her quite early on in life, and later on she seemed to have a good handle on it, and it didn't really seem to be impacting her, but both of them were diagnosed with general anxiety disorder. Yeah.
Okay. So with mum and her anxiety, like what did you see in the household? Like how did it come out in her day-to-day, or was there certain moments for your mum that you saw that you realised, oh, okay, mum's having a bad day?
Yes, like sometimes she'd have like panic attacks and stuff if she was like really overwhelmed with having to do cooking and cleaning and working and doing everything. She took on a big role in the household, and Dad was not really one to do all of that. Like he worked, but you know, he never really contributed otherwise. And yeah, like she would also be very protective of me, so she would be like very cautious of what I do, and she didn't want me to get hurt, and and I knew it all came from a place of love, but that's kind of how her anxiety sort of manifested, and Dad never really seemed to care. He, I don't know, he started drinking when I was quite young, so I'm assuming that's just how he says, oh, yeah, I need a beer to deal with you, to my mum, so I'm assuming that's just how he dealt with my mum's anxiety, so that's kind of, it's kind of what it was like.
So you obviously spoke about your mum's anxiety, and it obviously would have affected you, and you were seeing it in the household, and you just mentioned that before with your father, with drinking. Do you think your father had a drinking problem?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, he did. He would drink all day, every day if he could. Straight after work, before work. Sometimes he'd go to work and get sent home because he was intoxicated. Okay. He would like fall asleep with bottles in his hand, and they would just drop on the floor and smash. So it was quite a daily occurrence for us.
A normal thing to witness in the household.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about yourself when it comes to, and I say this now with no judgment at all, do you drink yourself, or have you used illicit drugs recreationally, or even as a coping mechanism? Have you dabbled in any illicit drugs before?
Alcohol, no. I never really liked the smell of it, never liked the taste of it. Did when I was 18, but maybe it's just because of Dad, it just really put me off of it. Never really was interested. Drugs, yes. When I was in grade 11, I just hung out with some people and they did it, and I just decided to do it to help me relax. It was quite a stressful time, really leading into grade 12. So for about a year there.
Okay. Yeah, but since then you haven't sort of dabbled with cannabis or. Okay.
No, nothing. Just in that time for about a year, just every now and then would smoke to relax, and that was about it.
And no legal altercations, interaction with the police and so forth.
No, nothing like that. Yeah,
okay, no dramas. Listen, I'll be really honest. You've been really courageous now, and I think as I said, it's very brave of you to come in and open up and share. And I think there's a lot of things for us to unpack, especially with your childhood and childhood trauma. What you've indicated, And obviously now in your workplace, you know, and obviously from 6 months ago, the negative feedback and which brought some emotions out, and obviously leaking into not only your social, you know, sort of things, but also with your with your partner. I just want to say this. Look, I think for us, or for you, think of a time back before the 6 months before this issues happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was the best version or the ideal version of Chanel? Can you just give me a feeling of what that looked like?
Yeah, I think I was just happy. I struggled a little bit here and there with anxiety, but I had a good hold on it. I was able to be confident, deliver my things at work. Mainly, like, my productivity at work. Like, I was really productive. I was getting my things done. I was doing it. I was delivering. I was meeting all my targets, my KPIs, all of that. Like, everything was really good. I was, you know, on the list for promotions, and my relationship was doing well, and my friendships were really being, you know, growing and fostering, and that's what it was like before, you know, things took a bit of a hit. Yeah.
Just mentioning that, obviously your face will light up a bit, so you have it inside yourself, and the reason I say that is I'm really keen to work, and we'll set some goals in a second, but I truly believe we can get back to the ideal version of yourself where you are confident and successful, where you have open communication with your partner, and yes, we might have to deal with, you know, some things happened in the past, and unpack and unlayer some of that, and that's all part and parcel of the therapy sessions that we'll go through. Just for us, and you know, in summary for us right now, you know, it seems to me that you definitely are burdened, and you know, negative self-talk, and I think you're probably analysing and picking up on perceived social cues and negative towards yourself. Okay, so does that seem?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, very fair. Yeah, like I couldn't have summarised it better myself. Like it's definitely true.
Okay, well, what I want to do now is just choose two goals we can sort of aim towards for our next session, and I always sort of say to clients, let's choose some low-hanging fruit, being some easy goals which we can aim for and target and achieve. So have you got a couple of goals in mind that you would like to achieve?
Yeah, I think the first, probably just because work, like obviously I'm there 5 days a week, so I'd really like to, I have a presentation coming up, more importantly, in about 2 weeks, so something I probably would like to work towards is just being able to deliver that with a bit more confidence, and go over my work and feel confident in what I'm delivering and what I'm giving. And I guess the second one would just be maybe just conversation with my boyfriend, and letting him know what it's been like, what I've been going through, how I've been feeling, and just sort of filling him in on all the stuff that I've kind of left out over the past couple of months. So yeah, I think that would be like the second thing for me. Yeah,
I think they're wonderful goals, and I'm really proud of you that you've chosen, especially the second one with your boyfriend. I think, you know, opening him up and letting him in and sharing. He seems like a really supportive, you know, person anyways, and he's your partner, and he probably has the right to know, and you'd be surprised he'll be there to help you and support you. The first one, we can definitely work on that one, especially by ways of, you know, breath work and preparation and repetition and so forth, and on the presentation. So once again, that's a really good choice. But I'm really happy you chose about the communication with your partner, and that's something we can role play. We can learn with language, and I think you'd be surprised, as the old saying says, a problem shared is a problem halved, and I think it would be really good for you to open up and express yourself and have another sort of supporting network there with your boyfriend.
Yeah, I think that would help me as well, just opening him up to what's been going on.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Well, once again, thank you so much for coming in, and I know it can be really daunting, and you have been really brave. So I really appreciate you coming and sharing. Yeah. And I really appreciate you, and as I said, I want you to leave this with the vision of your ideal self, because I truly believe, with us working together and through goal setting, we can get you fit, happy, and healthy, and being the Chanel that you deserve to be. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, and thanks for your time and your guidance today. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Chanel. Thanks. Appreciate it.